So, hello everyone. Today I will continue my mini-series about riding on this track. I'm supposed to talk to you about now the cornering, this one. But before I start to explain to you how I do this cornering things, how I turn in the deep sand in second gear, how I take really tight turns, and even how I ride up to this steep but very short uphill, I must talk to you about something else. And this is the clutch and the throttle mixture. Well, many beginners and even most of the experienced riders use the clutch only for changing the gear and for start and stop the motorbike. Maybe sometimes a little bit sliding, but they don't use too much. I use it too much. And why is this? Because I believe you can control the traction of the rear wheel much better when you combine the throttle and the clutch at the same time at almost every situation. Let me tell you some examples for this. The first use of the clutch is right here at this jump. I just help a little bit pop to fly the motorbike higher. I pull the clutch in here and let out gently to help the rear wheel not slide too fast out, just like in this corner and even in this corner, because the bike is in second gear and I don't want to put back in the first gear because I lose much more time with the gear changing on this big bike as I use the clutch for this. Also here is a deep sand, so better keep it in second gear and low rev the engine. Here I pull the clutch and put it back in the first gear because this part is really slow and I need it slow and steady with nice rev. Here I change the gear into the second one back, so I use the clutch for this. And here I just let out the clutch because the engine power already is strong enough to keep the bike front up on the bumps. And yet again a little bit clutch pump here to fly higher. Yeah, this was the lap. Let's see further. So first of all, you got the throttle where you can control the motorbike's power, how much power it should deliver to the rear wheel. But with the clutch, you can control extra this power, how fast suppose this power let the rear wheel turn. Yeah, this sounds a little bit mumbo jumbo. But when you know what I'm talking about, when you ever been in a situation when you had a really tight corner, but after this tight corner you had a steep uphill where you needed continuously go faster and faster because you need the momentum to go across this place. You cannot go fast enough probably, or you just will have too much uncontrollable power when your throttle is too much open. Just like here last year in this rally raid event, here was a tight corner, very slow speed, and then a really tight road led up and pretty steep on this rocky gravel paths, which was very difficult to control the motorbike while keeping the momentum. And yeah, I used the clutch a lot here, just like here, signal for this guy, don't stop me now because I'm having a good time. If you have a one-cylinder big engine like 600 XR Honda or the KTM's, the 690 KTM's, you can realize when you ride in second or third gear and you ride in very low rev, your motorbike just ride this. And when your motorbike ride like this, then you cannot control the bike very good, because it just gives this little fast and uncontrolled movements of the rear wheel. And it's very annoying almost in every situations when you don't have the speed to go across obstacles. So I say you must use together the throttle and the clutch to have a perfect traction control on your rear wheel, which is needed in most of the difficult situations. And after you get used to it, after it becomes second nature to you, you just start using the clutch almost all the time. Yeah, it means your clutch will die faster, but when you do it in the optimal usage, which is necessary, then yeah, it will give you much more safe rides. So I think everybody must learn this technique. Okay, let me talk to you a little bit more about this, and maybe you will comment some very negative comments after this, or you must argue with me. You can do it in the comment section. But here is my opinion about the clutch necessity in electrical bikes and why Honda DCT doesn't work. Yeah, go well for extreme off-road situations, and why the traction control computer things are not really good for off-road. The electric motorbikes have a very good torque. Even from the beginning up to the highest rev, they just have the full power available for them. And this is very good. But in certain situations, when the motorbike has some special speed, for example, when you start and you want already the wheel turn fast. This happens, you know, when people just riding very slow and there comes a vertical obstacle and they just from standing position jump like this. And you can say, yeah, it's unnecessary in adventure riding and enduro riding, but as you can see, the hard enduro motorbike ridings already using this technique. So with enduro bikes, they already can jump this. When you see Poltergeist, you can do it even with the T7. And as I can see on the videos and here on the YouTube and even on Instagram, many riders already using this technique even in the adventure bike sections. So sooner or later you must learn it. And this is something what the computers and what the traction control or the DCT cannot make, because this happens so fast, so willingly, and you must be together in mind and body with the motorbike to do these movements. And when the computer just thinks instead of you, well, it's not working very well. Maybe later, when they will connect our brain with the computer, yeah, it's pretty much in the future, but I don't know what happens, then it might work. But right now, when you have no direct control over these computer things, you simply must use your hands for controlling the bike's power and how this power will be delivered to the real wheel. And this control thing is the clutch. If you watch this video up to this moment, then you are a real hero, because this is long, way too long again. But you know, when talking about these things, you cannot talk enough. So for the safety, first learn the small things, then go for the big things when you have already the full control over your bike. Thank you again for watching this video, and hopefully see you next time. Ciao!